Israel faced a wave of international condemnation over a strike in Gaza that officials said killed 45 people, igniting a fire in a tent city for displaced Palestinians. The tragic event has added to the tensions since Israel's ground operation in Rafah in early May. An incident at the Egypt-Gaza border also resulted in the death of an Egyptian guard, further escalating the situation. Israel's military stated that the strike targeted senior Hamas operatives, but it led to a devastating fire condemned as a massacre by many Arab countries. A U.S. National Security Council spokesperson emphasized the need for Israel to protect civilians, and the UN Secretary General called for an end to the horror in Gaza, with an emergency session of the UN Security Council scheduled to discuss the attack. Displaced Gazan Khalil al-Batini shared the chaos of the night, expressing uncertainty about their next steps after the tent opposite theirs was targeted. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu acknowledged the tragic accident, highlighting the ongoing efforts to protect civilians. The strike followed a barrage of rockets from Hamas aimed at Tel Aviv, mostly intercepted by Israel's defenses. The Israeli attack on Rafah targeted Hamas officials Yassin Rabia and Khalid Nagar, but also caused widespread devastation. Gaza's Civil Defense Agency reported seeing charred bodies and dismembered limbs, with many injured, including children, women, and the elderly. Survivors described the horror of the event, with one woman recounting the fire and the children's screams. Footage showed paramedics racing to evacuate the wounded amidst the chaos. The attack has drawn strong protests from Egypt, Qatar, and other regional governments. Egypt condemned the targeting of civilians, while Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey accused Israel of ongoing war crimes and massacres. Qatar highlighted the dangerous violation of international law, concerned about the impact on mediation efforts. The African Union and the International Court of Justice also condemned Israel's actions, calling for an end to the military offensive in Rafah. The ongoing war, which began with Hamas's October 7 attack on southern Israel, has resulted in thousands of civilian deaths and many more injured on both sides. Israel's retaliatory strikes have killed thousands in Gaza, and humanitarian efforts face severe challenges due to movement restrictions and ongoing conflict. Philip Lazzarini of UNRWA described Rafah as hell on earth, struggling to provide assistance amidst the devastation. In Rafah, medical facilities are overwhelmed, with hospitals being evacuated after Israeli shelling. Internationally, Spain, Ireland, and Norway are set to recognize a Palestinian state, joining over 140 UN members in this step, despite Israel's opposition. The conflict continues to have profound impacts on civilians, with international calls for peace and protection of human lives growing louder.